One of the questions I was curious about, you give us some great general tips around eating more clean and healthy,
Yeah.
but you also sprinkled in there a few things we should be avoiding.
Right.
You mentioned regular red meat, and you mentioned sodas,
Yeah.
right? So stay away from those as regular staples.
Right.
What are other things that you would say, yeah, those are anti-clean. You don't want to do that in your diet on a regular basis because it's going to mess you up.
Yep. So this sort of speaks to me shopping around the perimeter and me recommending that you go around.
Sorry, I'm being rude. I'm eating another. I can't help it. It's really good.
It's okay. So, those prepackaged boxes of something, like a rice box that has seasonings in it. Anything that has pre-made seasonings in it, I always avoid because we tend to have rice around. We tend to have pasta around. I always say, add your own ingredients. Add your own dried herbs or fresh herbs with garlic to your rice. And that's going to be, sort of the same concept as you would get in that box. I avoid those boxes because they're full of salt and they're full of preservatives, things that you really don't need to have for clean eating and a healthy body. So that's my number one thing. Avoid those boxes if you can. Get, a pound or 2 pounds of rice and or pasta. There's so many varieties now. We're not limited to just rice and pasta. There's orzo, which is the short grain pasta. Or there's couscous. There's all kinds of grains like that. Buy a few of those and then make your own seasoning mix. Have a container of your spices ready to go, so you're not making it every single time. And then just use that as your spice mix, as it would be in those boxes.
Fantastic. So that's with like the rice boxes, for example, that have the seasoning in it.
Yeah.
Does that extend all the way to just general seasoning packets? Would you also say avoid those? Because I know sometimes in the grocery store you can buy seasoning packets, and I'm sure they're loaded with salt.
Yeah. I personally would recommend staying away from those. But I know that in a pinch and when we're short on time and convenience, we need that convenience. I don't mind them so much. I think as long as you're not reaching for them every single night, you're okay. But yes, the general rule of thumb is avoid those packets as well if you can.
Okay, so we've got like eating red meat all the time, don't do that. Soda all the time, don't do that. And then kind of the seasoning packets, whether they're in rice boxes or otherwise, try avoid those on a regular basis.
Exactly. Yes.
Any other?
Yes. And then one other thing, actually 2 other things. My one other thing was yogurt. You know how we see those yogurt containers with fruit?
Yeah.
Avoid those. Get a large container of yogurt or get a plain, small to-go size container of yogurt, but plain, because that has nothing in it. And then add your own fruit. Add, whether it's frozen fruit or fresh fruit, bananas, strawberries, blueberries, any of those fruits that you want to have in your yogurt, add it yourself. Because when you buy the prepackaged fruit-laden yogurt, you're eating mostly sugar. And again, that's not good for you. And it's going to add to our waistlines. And we don't, need the excess sugar. I think you're okay.
I'm looking, I don't know. I don't know about that. Looking down at my waistline, actually, she said that. I hear you.
Yeah.
Okay. So all right. So we've added. We can almost extend that. It sounds like things that have pre-packaged with lots of sugar in it.
Right.
Bad.
Exactly.
So lots of salt prepackaged, lots of sugar prepackaged.
Exactly. So the one aisle has, things that are full of salty preservatives that you don't need in the rice mixes. And then the other aisle that's got the yogurt, all that sugar that we don't need to eat.
Yeah.
So, yeah. And then the last thing, I know it's hard. It's hard for most of us, including myself.
You're making me uncomfortable. You're setting this up, and I know I already know I failed. I already know I failed.
No. It's my big thing is bacon. Yes, we can all enjoy bacon, but I think
you broke Isaac's heart.
Yeah,
Did you hear? He wailed.
I know.
He went, oh,
I'm sorry.
It's really. I mean, it's the worst I've heard him sound in a long time. So, are you telling Isaac that he can't have bacon at all?
I wouldn't say at all, but let's limit our consumption of bacon, is what I'm saying.
To once a month?
I would say once a week again. I think
once
if we go that...
Isaac, you can have your bacon dreams can happen once a week.
That's right. Yeah.
Yay. Isaac said yay.
He's okay now.
He's okay. Once a week.
Yeah.
I think if you told him once a month, I don't know. Could you handle once a month, Isaac?
Yeah.
He was very adamant about that.
I don't think I would be able to handle once a month either. But again, it's one of those things like soda. It's a treat. I will have it once in a blue moon and enjoy it. I don't have it in the house. When I go out for a brunch, I'll get bacon, and then that's my treat.